welcome back to your narrow dive corner. Happy Easter to everybody. I hope you are enjoying this beautiful day, hopefully with family and friends. Or if you were like me and you were working, I hope you're having a fairly easy day today. So I was waiting to calm down a little bit before making this video because I wanted to be educational and informational rather than being like an emotional rant. So today we're going to talk about autism, what it is, what it's not, and why it matters. So let's start with what it is, even though I know there's going to be people in the comments that are going to be like, well, we don't know for sure what it is. Yes, we have. We've known for many, many years now. So what is autism? Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder, meaning that the way your executive functions develop as a human being gets affected and gets expressed in a different range than neurotypical individuals will normally express. And when we're talking about executive functions, we're talking about things like motor skills, we're talking about things like speech, we're talking about socializing and learning how to read body language, how to read speech in context, how to read social cues and understand social contracts. So that is what autism is a developmental disorder that affects the brain and has a highly genetic component to it. With autism, the genetic component to it has been known to professionals almost since the 1940s. Nowadays, because we have made so many long strides in the way we screen and diagnose autism, we are finding that autism spectrum is expressed in 1 out of over 30 children, roughly. So 1 out of 30 something children that are born will fall on the autism spectrum. Something that expresses itself in a spectrum, as you may understand, is very much like when you're coloring in your computer and you have that gradient level where you can go from light gray all the way to black. That's exactly what it is. It is a spectrum. So where you can have one patient that doesn't do well with socializing but does very well with mechanical and motor skills and has pretty decent language ability, you can have somebody that is all the other way around, where they are okay in expressing social affection and understanding social cues, contracts, but they are not so good on the mechanical aspect or on their motor skills, that type of thing. So it's always going to be a peak and valley type of thing, which is one of the reasons why it was not picked up for so many years and not understood for so many years. Again, the disease, or not disease, because it is not a disease, let me correct myself. The disorder was first documented and noticed in the 1940s, and as we made more and more progress, it started showing in our DSM, and eventually it went from being autism and Asperger's to professionals understanding that it is a spectrum. Thank you. Thank you. I am a warrior. I'm an autism warrior all the way. I not only work in this field, but it hits home for me. So thank you everybody for joining the stream and joining the live. Nicole, thank you. Ali, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Make sure you like and share as well. So, getting back to the topic. So, what else is autism? So, again, there is a heavy genetic component to it, but if there are no interventions early on, obviously the challenges that the patient suffers can vary in degree. So, I have always noticed as a professional that the earlier the interventions, the more successful the person with autism can be. It's just a matter of setting them up to thrive rather than setting them up to fail. And this is very much like somebody that is deaf or somebody that is hard of hearing or somebody that is blind. You know, they will need some supports and accommodations in order to be able to have a job if they would like to have a job. It's like anybody else. They might need a little extra support in certain areas. It is crazy when you discount everything that they bring to the table. One of the things that people with autism or people that fall in the spectrum are always advocating for is they bring a very different point of view and perspective to every interaction that they have and everything that they do in life. A lot of them have amazing abilities and superpowers, and they just need a little bit of support in other areas. Like, I've known professionals, and I'm talking about doctors, I'm talking about lawyers that fall in the spectrum and have support professionals that help them with planning or help them with scheduling, or that help them with socializing in like group venues. So again, it's a spectrum. It could go from light in the spectrum to deep in the spectrum. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about what autism is not. Autism is not an illness, so there's no cure. Again, it is a disorder. There are certain aspects to the disorder that can be addressed through therapy and psychotropic medication, but there is no cure for autism, nor do they need a cure. They just need to be understood and supported like anybody else that has a disability or that has any challenges in life, because nobody's perfect. So it is not an illness. It is not environmental. Now, toxins and things like that can eventually affect how genes express themselves. So there could be a small component to that, but it is not environmental. This is something that is usually passed down genetically in families. And again, some people have higher probability of that gene expression and some people have less. I'll tell you what else is not. It is not a burden. Those of us that love the autism community have no issue in providing support, love, tolerance like anybody else, because guess what? I am not perfect. I don't show up 100% every day, nor do I have all the answers. And I need support myself certain days where I'm just not in the mood, don't want to be bothered. So they are not a burden. If you are somebody that cares, then you're going to make sure that they feel supported and there's awareness and that they are able to thrive and get their needs met like anybody else in this planet. And I do have to say, I have met some incredible people with autism in my life. One of the best psychiatrists that I've met was Dr. Larry Dumont. Rest in peace. He passed away many years ago. The best children's psychiatrist that I have ever met in my career, and I've been in health and human services for over 20 years, was Dr. Larry Dumont, who was a person with autism and spent all of his career giving back to children with intellectual disabilities and people that were autistic, people that any teenagers that had behavioral challenges. So I just want to bring that up to people that yes, they do pay taxes. Yes, they do go on dates. Yes, they do play sports. Yes, they give back to the community. But no, they don't have to, and that's okay too. And if they need support with anything, with their daily living activities, that should not be an issue, because everybody in society is a burden to an extent. And we need to stop placing value on people. People are worthy just because they're here. Every life matters. Full stop. And we just need to get away from trying to label things, trying to quantify things, because we have been doing it for decades, even measuring IQ, when that's really not relevant. You can have somebody that has a genius level IQ and enjoys being a landscaper. And that might be something that, according to society, is frowned upon, but that's what makes them happy. So why are we always trying to place value and quantify people's worth? Everybody's worth it. Every life matters. And everybody needs to stand up for the autism community right now, because they deserve better. We deserve better as a society. So anyway, as usual, stay safe, stay healthy, make sure you're lifting each other, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye.